Good evening, everyone. The Novak news. Why DY? Why would you want to live in DY? We're going to run through that. The facts, the feelings, and the figures coming up.
Ladies, gentlemen, it's a special occasion. Dream Team's back in action. Glenn, you and I, we haven't been on the big screen for a while, but the people demanded it, and we have to deliver.
And it has to be a big screen, too, to get us on. The heavyweights of DY real estate. We're down on DY Beach tonight. We've put our thongs up, and we're going to talk about everything in DY. I'll be asking Steph some questions. Due to my German background, we ask the questions and you give the answers. But first, let's start off with some facts on DY, Steph.
Yes.
What can you tell us about DY? This is our
core suburb. Yeah. We're here in DY. A lot of people think DY is absolutely flooded with real estate, but you'd be surprised to hear, well, maybe not. We're sitting under 11,000 dwellings throughout this entire suburb. And of that, 2,000 are roughly houses, 9,000 roughly apartments through the suburb.
The average suburb on the northern beaches, it's around 11,000 properties in DY. It's probably 1,800 to 2,500.
Yeah.
So Cromer, Beacon Hill and Lambie, you'd have about 2,500 homes there. DY has always been pretty densely populated, and it's been earmarked as a region on the northern beaches where we can have some even higher density.
Yeah.
But what do properties sell for in DY?
Yeah, so good question. Median house price right now for the suburb, 2.623 million. So a house in DY, that's the median price. Say around 2.6 million. An apartment just now hitting north of the $1 million mark as a median price for apartments in DY. What's
really interesting about that median price in DY, in the office in 1 week, we sold a 1-bedroom for 485,000, and
same week
a 3-bedroom for 2.8 million. So great variety of properties, something for everyone, something at every price range.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to talk about.
And I think that makes DY sort of the suburb on the beaches, depending on your budget, depending what you're looking for, you'll probably find it.
Yeah.
You'll probably find it.
Yeah. And I think we'll probably talk about it soon, but DY's got a lot on offer when it comes to every single price point and every type of dwelling in the residential market. There's a mixture of commercial real estate here. There's offices, retail, obviously the food outlets. And then you've got the beachfront, which is absolutely amazing. Restaurant strip, lifestyle strip. A lot on offer for a suburb, on the northern beaches.
Well, with density comes amenities. Yes. So Beeline bus runs like a train.
Guys, just need a quick tea break.
Quick commercial break. Smoker. So we're back. DY has everything. Beeline bus runs like a train every 5 minutes.
Yep.
From about 4 stops till you get to Mossman.
Yep.
Fantastic. Coles, Audi, Coles, Woolworths.
Yep.
Servicing 22,000 people. I'm an investor, Steph. What's the average rent? The average dwelling in DY would be 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car. And what would the average rent be for that property?
I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just gonna use it off experience. But a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car, 60s build through to kind of that late 1970s build. When you're looking, it's a red brick, cream brick, brown brick, white brick, those types of apartments. Then our leasing kind of at the low end 700 a week, but more around that kind of mid 750 per week as a rental return. Then you shoot up to a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Apartment, and you'll see rents jump to anywhere from 8 to 850, and then of course north if you're getting views and things like that. Houses, look, it's hard to say, but you can't find a home under $1,000. They're probably $1,300 a week now.
And with those sorts of properties, look, we'd be averaging probably 3.8 to maybe even 4% rental return.
Yes.
The smaller the fish, the sweeter. So the little one that sold for 485 would stamp probably 500. We'd rent that out almost for 25,000 per annum.
That's not a bad return.
So pretty good return on that one. Now, DY was always a suburb with apartments in it.
Yes.
For if you were starting out on slowing down. But what trends are we seeing? Who's moving to DY, Steph?
So again, with such a broad spectrum of price points throughout the suburbs, let's look at who is in here. Obviously, it's been quite a strong investment market because there is such volume. It represents significantly better buying than other suburbs just due to the supply-demand conflict always at play when buying and selling real estate. But there's a mixture. We've even seen a whole lot of downsizers starting to come into the market, which we probably didn't see about 10 years ago. And they're coming from more affluent suburbs. They're selling the home for, $3, $4, $5 million, coming down, buying something nice by the beach. But it really caters for everyone. First home buyers, investors, growing families. We were talking about it. We're seeing more and more families. Obviously, as real estate's gone up in price coming into these apartments, and that's kind of the new family home.
Well, when you see that the average price for a home in DY is 2.6 million, families that want to live in DY or want to live close to the beach, they're toying with the idea of buying a big apartment, either a 3-bedroom apartment, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms that they can probably get for under that $2 million, or a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, which will trade anywhere from about 1.2 up to 2 million. So people are making those choices. Retirees, because of all the services and facilities in DY, proving very, very popular. And also over the past decade, we've seen a lot of 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cars and 1 car apartments built, which are perfect for downsizers who think, hey, I need an extra bedroom sometimes. We've come from a house with more than 1 bathroom. We can't go back to 1 bathroom, even though it's just the 2 of us. And they're buying in the area. And they're probably the group of buyers that don't have any conditions from the bank. So they're buying with cash. They're buying what they want. And if they have to pay a little bit more, they're pretty happy to
do so.
Use some of that money they made holding their family home for 20, 25 years. So that's proving a pretty strong competition for people that want to jump from a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom into a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, a bit bigger. They're proving a bit of competition for them as well. So it has changed. I can remember when I was a young fella like you, Steph, and I told my rowing coach, the great Gary Watts, I just purchased a unit in Cassius Street, DY. And he said, as long as you didn't get the Crescent, DY, that's Blacktown by the sea. And
not anymore.
Not anymore. But that was always a little joke back in the 70s and 80s. But as the Sydney Morning Herald, they ran an article on DY, and they said, while it's not as glamorous as some of the other beachside suburbs on the northern beaches, DY is like a comfortable armchair. Once you get in it, you'll never get out. And I think that was an apt description. So predictions. What's going to happen in the DY market, the Great Stavan Boogaloo?
So I mean, look, sitting at dwellings at close to 11,000 for the suburb, a lot of people think there's a ton of development still to come. Now, on a different topic that we can cover again is going to be, there's a big push from state government to provide more housing, and they've identified key markets within the Northern Beaches to do that. DY is one of them. However, the volume that they have placed on DY is not significant. So what that's telling me is DY might be close to maxing out, probably in the next 3 to 5 years. And once it does max out, you're not going to get an increased dwellings. You'll probably see property prices, increase just due to the fact there's not going to be more supply coming into the suburb. You factor in on top of that, hopefully we'll see a reduction in interest rates, obviously population, immigration, all of this. Everyone wants to live by the beach. Like most of the northern beaches, I think there's big things ahead for this suburb. And what I really like about it, Glenn, like you harping on earlier, was when we saw the Meriton development come through, the lighthouse, they fixed, not fixed, but they improved community services. Brand new PCYC indoors, recreation facilities, basketball courts. Walter Gore Park, fantastic what they've done there. Howard Avenue being a thoroughfare down to the beach, wide footpaths, completely tiled, tree lined. So with an influx of new development has come an improvement and a refresh of the suburb as well, and that only speaks towards capital growth.
Well, if you look at just the history of enrolments in DY Public School,
you know well.
When my daughter's turning 16 this year, a very stressful time for me, but she's turning 16. She started school then when she was 8. There was 1 kindergarten class.
Wow.
Now they're running 5 kindergarten classes in enrolments, which is just sort of shows we're living in different spaces. Some people are abandoning the notion of getting, a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car home and saying, hey, I want something convenient. I want something affordable. Not that $1 million is affordable, but I want something that I can get into. And, I'm happy to live in DY. And also to a huge improvement in the school. The school, back when my daughter started, went out and they got the best vice principal in the area and gave him incentives to build the school. You go to DY Public School now, music's catered for, full band, rock band, violin, ukuleles being taught. There's a guy that plays on the wing, Hopawati for Manly, ex-alumni of DY, so all your sports are covered as well. And fantastic school, actually. Mr. Chapper is the principal there. Whenever the kids have an event, so they're singing in the choir at Town Hall, all the parents come outside and the first smiling face you see is Mr. Chapper on the weeknight.
Nice.
The only time my mother saw the teachers was when she got invited into the principal's room to talk about my grades, and he'd be sitting there smoking. Mr. Archibald, I hope you're well. I think you'd probably be dead by now, but you'd be about 100. So
a very multicultural school, isn't it? It just embraces everyone.
42,
There's so many
42 cultures in DY. DY is a multicultural area. We're a multicultural family. My family, you are too, Steph.
Yep.
So it works out really, really well with us. They have a Harmony Day there, which is the most beautiful day on the northern beaches. All the parents come in and run stalls and cook their home dishes. Big Serbian community there, dance. Just an amazing day. If you go to that day, eat the food, see the kids dance, and you're not crying at the end of it, you're the Tin Man. You haven't got a heart. So, fantastic. My predictions for DY is, we're running out of building sites. Novak, we've sold the last of the big ones here. There's probably another 500 units to go in on Del Mar Parade, but then the major sites are gone. Woolworths once was earmarked for a big development. The old Woolworths there, I think they run a chemist out of it. Now on Oaks Avenue, that's still earmarked for a big development. But most of the sites now, if you're looking, how's DY going to develop, commercial, and they're owned by individuals. So it's a little bit like herding cats to get this commercial owner and this commercial owner and that commercial owner all to sell at once. Push for executive studios. Some people that are against the idea, not in my backyard, will say, oh, they're boarding houses, but they're much more than that. They're small studios, beautifully set up, beautifully, how could I say, not furnished.
They're modern. They're they've got every facility. Well, most of them have facilities.
Yeah, they have a kitchen in their bathroom in there. You don't share anything. And that's really for essential workers on the northern beaches. There's one similar going in on the Baptist Church on Fisher Road.
That's right,
and they'll also offer some crisis care for people that need a respite from where they're staying at home, or they're out of accommodation, elderly people with the church. So these things are very beneficial to the area as well.
And something I just thought of that we didn't talk about earlier, but there's been a few turnings in DY, and you'll know it well. Glenn, you grew up a little bit localer than I did here. But when I think back to DY and growing up as a kid, DY was always the entry-level suburb when I was particularly in primary school. And then I think really what turned it that I can remember was around the year 2000, there was a big focus on the beachfront.
Yes,
and they really focused on making that an entertainment quarter. Obviously, the walkway, that stone, the steps. I don't know how to explain it, Glenn.
Yep,
you know better.
Yep.
That was a big thing, and it brought so much attention to DY. Everybody realised the lifestyle aspect of the suburb. It's one of the rare beaches, on the entire northern beach. It's probably the only one you can literally get a meal and a drink, and you cross the road and you're on the park. Manly's there as well, but it just doesn't offer the same type of feel as DY does, where you can just get an ice cream, go for a walk with the kids, or go for a swim.
Well, in 1998, I was talking to a town planner. I was working in the inner west, and a lot of what you see in DY, they wanted 7 stories along Pittwater Road.
Yeah, wow.
And they wanted to improve DY Beach, and they wanted a secondary area that felt like DY Beach, which is Watergall Park, which has a little sort of kids' water play area, swings, a barbecue areas, gym area there as well. So the old mayor, Michael Regan, hats off to him.
Yeah, he did a great job.
I think, it's very, very hard to balance development and communities' sort of concerns about overdevelopment. And I think they've done that well in DY. I think the next push will be these executive studios. They won't be with parking. There's a push. We don't believe in censorship, so I'll say this. There's a push from government that we don't need cars. And the best way to stop people having cars is don't have car spaces for them, and then you just give up. So we'll see a little bit of that in DY. Parking will get a little bit more difficult. If you're buying a property, if you can buy a property with a lock-up garage, I think that's going to be a real selling point in the future, because we will see studio apartments without parking and without storage. So that old 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, lock-up garage, at the moment we'd value a garage over a car space around 50,000.
Yeah.
Identical properties, one has a car space, one has a garage, it'd be 50,000 more. That could
go to 100.
It could go 100. Well, if you look at a suburb like Potts Point, I remember a decade ago you were paying 250,000 for a parking spot. I can remember when they sold some in Oaks Avenue here, they were selling them for 50,000. A person you used to work for bought them. I won't say who it is. So that's a bit of a DY wrap. As you can see, we're very passionate about DY, passionate about the history, passionate about what's moving forward, passionate about our community. If you'd like to know anything about DY, please reach out to myself, Glenn Hicks, or the one and only Stefan Buglow.
I'd just like to say something before we go. Glenn, your hair looks fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't cut it. My wife's been away.
She's been away?
And I said, I won't cut my hair till you come back.
Wow, looks great.
So if you see it down past my shoulders, someone's not coming back.
You look 20 years younger. You're like Brad Pitt, mate.
Oh, mate, Brad Pitt.
All right. Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
younger than Brad Pitt.
You are.
I'm younger than Brad Pitt.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again, Stefan and Glenn. Great to see you guys. Thanks for sharing Monday night with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you.
Bye.